Welcome back, friends. So we're going to talk about another letter today. Are you ready? See if you can guess what it is. Listen to this sentence and listen for the initial or beginning sound of each one of these words. Find, fat, figs. Ooh, what sound do you hear at the beginning of all those words? Let's listen again to another sentence. Frank, fried, flaky, French fries. It's called alliteration when you hear the same sound at the beginning of more than one word in a sentence. And these sentences are full of alliteration. Let's listen to that sentence again. Frank fried flaky French fries. Let's map it out. Are you ready? Frank fried flaky French fries. Period. If you guess that we're talking about the letter F, you're exactly right. And look at F is for fire in our Wonders alphabet. And F is for Franny the fan in my other alphabet cards. And we say Franny the fan, and spin around like a fan. Okay? I have another kind of a fan today. Isn't that beautiful? This is a hand fan. I'm going to fan myself with the fan. Okay? Fan begins with an F. This is felt. Felt is a kind of fabric that's made from wool, and it's kind of soft. Felt begins with an F. Felt. Do you hear that? I also have a fish. Isn't this a fun fish? My daughter made this. Look, it can swim. Fish begins with an F or a sound. I also have a fence, like a little tiny fence for toy animals. Fence begins with an F. I have a very silly thing that I got in Mexico. This is a little set of boxing mice. Aren't they silly? They're having a fight. Fight begins with an F. Aren't they silly? Look at them there, having a little boxing match. I also have, this is another silly thing. I have a lot of silly things for the letter F. These are feet. And look at, aren't they funny? Feet. Feet or foot. They both begin with an F. Feet or foot. Okay? I have some other things that begin with an F that are on cards that I have pictures of. We just saw my silly little feet here, but I also have a card that shows feet. Feet begins with an F. Feather begins with an F. Football begins with an F. Do you hear it? Football. Fish. This is a different kind of a fish than I had before. This is a goldfish. Fish begins with an F. This is the number 5, and when we write out the word 5, it begins with an F. This is a flute. Isn't that pretty? Flute begins with an F. This is a fork. Fork begins with an F. This is a fox. Fox begins with an F. And this is a fan. This is that kind of fan that we talked about, Franny, the fan that goes, okay? Fan begins with an F. This is a fly. Fly begins with an F. Oh, this is a fire. Same that we saw in our alphabet card, just bigger. Fire begins with an F. Okay. Oh, and the last one, this is a farm. And on this farm, you can see a fence. Both fence and farm begin with an F. Farm, fence. Okay. Let's take a look at our alphabet and see where F comes in the alphabet. Are you ready to sing with me? Okay, ready? I'm going to point to the letters as we go across. A, B, C, D, E, F. Oh, there it is. There's the F. Let's do some practice writing Fs. Okay. Remember, where do we start when we write our letters? We always start at the top and pull down. Capital F starts at the top up here and it goes down, and then we lift our pen and it goes across this way and this way. F says F. F says F. F says F. Can you finish writing F's across your paper? And each time you write one, you say F says F. How about down here? These are lowercase f's. We start at the top and we go around and then lift our pen and across. F says F. F says F. F says F. I'd like for you to write F's all across the paper, and while you're doing it, I'd like you to ask your grown-up to watch and make sure that you're going from the top and pulling down, okay? Not from the bottom and pushing up. We want to get in the habit of writing our letters correctly because that becomes really important when we learn to write in cursive, which is coming up in a few years. Very exciting. Okay, let's do some phoneme, grapheme mapping. Okay, our first word that we're going to do, let's see if you can see my face. The first word we're going to do is the word fun. Spelling fist up. Fun. How many sounds do you hear in fun? Oh, 3 sounds. That's when we make 3 dots above our boxes, or you can use little spacers. I like to just use dots. Fun. Ready? Fun. First sound. Oh, I recognize what letter that makes. That makes that sound. Hand on your throat. Unvoiced. I don't feel it at all in my throat. That means it's an unvoiced sound. It's continuous. Do you hear how it doesn't go? It goes. That's a continuous sound. Letter name. You guessed it. F. F says F. Good. We're going to write the F there. Spelling fist back up. Fun. We've already done that one. Hand on your throat. Ooh, it's a voice sound. I can feel it vibrate. It's also continuous. Ooh, and it's a vowel. Remember vowels. A, E, I, O, U. Letter name U. Okay. Hand on your throat. Voiced and continuous, and it's a consonant. Letter name N. Fun. Ooh, my pen doesn't seem to want to write in that spot. There we go. Fun. Let's do one more. This is a tricky one. Okay, you're going to see if it gets tricky for you. The next word we're going to do is fish. Spelling fist up. Ish. 3 dots. So I'm going to go dot over one box, dot over my next box, and a dot over my third box. 3 sounds in fish. First sound, remember we talked about that. It's unvoiced, continuous, and it's a consonant. Letter name, just like fun, F. Okay, next sound, I. Hand on your throat. I. It's voiced. I. Continuous. Letter name, I, and I is a vowel. Do you hear it? A, E, I. Oh, there's the I. Okay, it's a vowel. I, sh. Hand on your throat. This is the tricky one. Hand on your throat. Shh. It doesn't vibrate. It is an unvoiced sound. Shh. It's continuous. Here's the tricky part. It's not just one letter that makes this sound. It's a digraph. And a digraph means 2 letters that make one sound. Do you know the digraph that makes the sound for shh? It's SH. So we're going to put the S and the H in the same box because it's only one sound. It's a digraph, SH, but one sound, shh. Okay, that's it for today. Have a wonderful day, and I'm so glad you're tuning in. See you next time.